question testimony. I believe the state has, in fact, met their burden. So therefore, I am going to find that there is probable cause to charge the individual with the bound over for General Sessions Court for both charges.
From killing his brother in a fire.
I now read the indictment to you. Do you wish to enter a plea of not guilty?
Sí.
Pardon me?
Sí.
What's same mean? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. I understand the victims are represented and they want to make a comment before I set bond. Is that true?
To randomly stabbing a 3-year-old child in the mall. These are baby killers reacting to life sentences.
It is life without parole.
This is Seth Welch. He and Tatiana Fusari are a religious farming couple from Cedar Springs, Michigan. They were charged after the death of their 10-month-old daughter, Mary Welch. They told police that they saw Mary was very thin, weak, and clearly not healthy, but they still refused to take her to a doctor because of their religious beliefs and their deep mistrust of medicine and the government.
Felony murder. It is life without parole. It requires a DNA sample to be taken upon arrest, which is often like a cotton swab or
An autopsy later showed that Mary died from malnutrition and dehydration. In simple terms, she did not get enough food or water. Her death was ruled the result of neglect by the people who were supposed to care for her. This is when Seth Welch and Tatiana Fusari began to understand that they could spend the rest of their lives in prison.
intentionally caused serious physical harm to a child. They're talking about this Mary Welch. It is a felony, possible penalty of up to life imprisonment or any term of years less than life. Now those are the two separate felony charges.
Both of them were charged with felony murder. That means they are accused of causing a death while committing or trying to commit first-degree child abuse. In this case, it covers the alleged murder of Mary Welch and carries a possible sentence of life in prison without parole, along with the requirement to give a DNA sample after their arrest. They were also charged with first-degree child abuse. This charge says they knowingly or intentionally caused serious physical harm to their daughter, Mary. First-degree child abuse is a felony, and it can also lead to a life sentence or a long prison term just short of life. Next up, we have a mother who intentionally starved her 10-year-old stepdaughter. This is Tiffany Moss. She was convicted of one of the coldest crimes you'll ever hear about, starving her 10-year-old stepdaughter, Imani, to death after years of abuse and neglect. Look, there's no such thing as a mild murder case, but some stand out for how cruel they are, and this one is definitely on that list. Moss didn't just fail to care for Imani, she slowly let her waste away, intentionally. When it was finally time for her to face justice, the jury decided that what she did was so horrific that only the harshest punishment would fit.
We, the jury, find beyond a reasonable doubt that the offense of murder as alleged in count 1 was outrageously or wantonly vile, horrible, or inhuman in that it involved torture of the victim before death.
They told the judge they were recommending the death penalty, pointing to how brutal, calculated, and inhuman the abuse and murder were.
It is death, signed and dated by the foreperson. Please give it to counsel for their review as to form, sir.
And Moss's reaction? Almost nothing. She sat there stiff, cold, and emotionless, showing no visible remorse for what she'd done. No tears, no apology, no sign that she understood the horror of her actions. Up next, we have a woman who stabbed a 3-year-old child in the face and back, and then laughed in court.
Degree, to wit, felonious assault, Ohio Revised Code Section 2903.11A1.
This is Bianca Ellis. She is accused of walking into a Giant Eagle parking lot in North Olmsted, Ohio, and randomly attacking a mother and her child. Prosecutors say she first stole 2 knives from a nearby Volunteers of America store, then went next door to the grocery store on Lorraine Road. There, she spotted 38-year-old Jessica Wood pushing her 3-year-old son Julian in a shopping cart. Ellis allegedly followed them outside and suddenly stabbed Julian while he was still in the cart. When his mother tried to grab him, Ellis stabbed her too. Julian later died at the hospital while his mother survived and is expected to recover. After she was first arraigned in Rocky River Municipal Court, Ellis's case was moved to Cuyahoga County, where her behavior in front of Judge Nancy Russo shocked everyone. In 2 separate video appearances, she refused to answer questions, wouldn't admit she'd heard her indictment, and barely acknowledged the judge. Judge Russo pointed out that based on the charges, this could turn into a death penalty case, and refused to simply skip the arraignment.
Is to hire an attorney? Have you received your indictment? Okay, have you read it? You have not read it, okay?
For a third attempt, Ellis was brought into the courtroom in person. She said she didn't want to read her indictment and didn't want her lawyer to read it either, so Judge Russo read it out loud while Ellis sat there smiling.
We have a copy here. You can read it. You don't want to read it. Are you willing to accept that the public defender has read it to you? I'm sorry. You asked her not to. Well, but she did read it to you, correct? She didn't read it to you.
When the judge asked how she would plead, Ellis giggled and answered C instead of giving a clear yes or no, then finally agreed to a not guilty plea.
Now read the indictment to you. Do you wish to enter a plea of not guilty?
C.
Pardon me?
C.
What's same mean? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. I understand the victims are represented and they want to...
Julian's father, Jared Wood, then spoke directly to the court. He said that 1 week earlier, Ellis had taken everything from their family and begged the judge to keep this monster behind bars, asking for no bail at all. Judge Russo set Ellis's bail at the maximum, $5 million, up from the $1 million bond she'd previously had in Rocky River, where she had refused to even lift her head.
That day, 1 week ago, she took everything from us. There's nothing that could ever replace my son, or anything that my wife and I, or even our other kids, are going through. It's horrendous. And I really wish no bail, period.
A grand jury has indicted Ellis on multiple charges: 1 count of aggravated murder, 2 counts of murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, 2 counts of felonious assault, 1 count of endangering children, 1 count of tampering with evidence, and 1 count of misdemeanor theft. Authorities say the stabbing was a completely random attack, which makes the case feel even more frightening and senseless. Next, we have a teenager who set his house on fire and killed his brother in it.
The mouse that it would take to set a fire in the bedroom where the child is in the crib sleeping.
This is Jacob Morgan. As a troubled teenager, he did something that would destroy his life and his family forever. On October 26, 2021, he set his own home on fire, and the blaze killed his innocent stepbrother, Joshua Alexander Hill.
But a significant burn pattern shows that there is something set significant and intentional. And at that point, to start a fire in that room is hidden, and to walk away, not trying to extinguish that fire, and immediately starting another fire in the living room. And then to claim it's an accident, that it got out of control.
In court, Jacob broke down. He cried, prayed, and said he was sorry, clearly shaken by what he had done. But no amount of tears could change the fact that his actions had taken a life. The judge didn't show much mercy because of the seriousness of the crime, the intent, the recklessness, and the sheer madness of starting that fire. Jacob was sentenced to life in prison.
Listening to both sides, question testimony, I believe the state has, in fact, met their burden. So therefore, I am going to find that there is probable cause to charge the individual with the down over for General Sessions Court for both charges.
As the sentence was read, the terror on Jacob's face and the sound of his cries made the whole scene even more intense. It was a harsh reminder that once something like this happens, there is no way to undo it. No matter how much regret he shows now, Jacob will have to live the rest of his life with the consequences of that night. And now, for last, we have a mother who starved her own 4-month-old son.
She blamed him for their problems. Zach didn't believe Sterling was his son, and he had nothing to do with them.
This is Cheyenne Harris, a mother whose name became known nationwide after one of the most disturbing child abuse cases in recent history. Harris and her boyfriend were charged in the horrifying death of their 4-month-old son, Sterling, after investigators found him in conditions so shocking that even veteran officers struggled to describe what they saw. Sterling was discovered in a baby swing, severely malnourished and covered in insects, a level of neglect that experts later said took weeks to reach. The scene revealed extreme starvation, dehydration, and complete abandonment.
011490, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty of murder in the first degree. Count 2, we, the jury, find the defendant guilty of child endangerment causing the death of a child. Mr. Foreperson, is this the verdict of the jury on both counts?
When the time came for Harris to face a judge, her behavior only added to the growing outrage. In court, she appeared flat, distant, and emotionless, showing almost no reaction as prosecutors described how her baby slowly died under her care. There were no tears, no signs of remorse, just a cold, detached stare.
Ladies and gentlemen, with my sincere thanks, you are excused. I thank you very much for your service. I was advised, as I said earlier, by Court TV.
As the evidence unfolded, the jury made their decision. The brutality and inhuman neglect were so severe that they convicted Harris of first-degree murder and child endangerment. She was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. For many, what made this case especially terrifying wasn't just the crime itself, but the emotionless way Harris faced it, as if the unimaginable suffering of her own child meant nothing. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments down below.